our city, Kuala Lumpur, KL, being ranked as the third most overworked city in the world. Hey, you are now listening to the Nasi Lemak Podcast. I'm Xianghuan.
I'm Cynthia.
I came across one interesting study. So, according to a study that I found back in 2022, our city, Kuala Lumpur, KL, being ranked as the third most overworked city in the world. And interestingly, that we are just one place behind Hong Kong, which means that we are third. Hong Kong is actually second. And another interesting fact, Singapore is actually come after us.
So Singapore is number 4.
Yes.
Number 2, Hong Kong. Number 3, Kuala Lumpur. Number 4, Singapore.
Always been heard about people in Japan is like
their lifestyle is very busy.
Yes, they are very busy, and also that they are considered as the most depressed populations on earth. And Japan, Tokyo is not even ahead of us. It's actually behind of us.
Where is Japan ranked?
Japan is actually still between 10. I think it's probably somewhere between 8 or 9. So
that's not that bad.
That's not that bad, but then it's like, interestingly that we, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur is being ranked as third.
Finally, for something. Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur is ranked top 3.
we overtake Singapore, our neighbor. Yeah. Do you want to guess like which city is actually ranked as the first, the champion?
I'm not surprised we are ranked number 3, but I'm surprised Hong Kong is ranked only number 2.
Yes.
The first one, maybe China, part of the city in China.
No, China is not even in the top 10 list.
Huh?
Yes. Any city in China, right, is not even in the top 10 list, for your information.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
the number 1 list, is it Southeast Asia country?
They are not considered Southeast Asia. So, but they are quite near to us. They are quite close to us.
Thailand.
No, Thailand is not even in the list. Okay, so let me share who is the champion. It's actually
Vietnam.
Dubai, UAE. The rank as the first most overworked city in the world.
Okay, really unexpected. Because what I have in mind for Dubai is,
chill and relax.
Rich ass and then all the money to go.
Yes.
So I never imagined that the people there overwork and they are ranked number 1st overworked in the whole country.
So that is never come into my mind ever. By listening to this, like first is actually Dubai, second is Hong Kong. I mean, Hong Kong, we already know it for a long time that they are like, overworked city. People is always in a depression mode and so on. Things,
fast-paced living.
Yes, fast-paced living. What do you think? Do you think that Kuala Lumpur being ranked as third overworked? What is your takeaway?
I'm not surprised to be honest. But like what I mentioned just now is what really surprised me is we are ahead of Singapore and Japan. And Hong Kong is only number 2.
Yes.
But for Kuala Lumpur to rank number 3, I'm totally not surprised. Indeed, people here in Kuala Lumpur really overwork. I think because we try to do more, to earn more.
Yep.
Yeah. I think
to race again the competition.
Yeah, to race again the competition. So I think it's kind of like normal for us to overwork. Not to say normal, but this situation
not something surprise.
Yeah, it's not something surprise. It's like a common situation.
Look into ourselves. Like, do you feel that yourself are considered as overworked person?
I should put it in this way. Like, I will tend to overwork. Like, it's just for me personally. I tend to do things like quickly, and then like I don't want to like put all things behind, left behind. I don't want to queue the works. Yeah, so I'll tend to just keep doing that will push me to a situation which is overwork.
Do you see yourself as in terms of overwork when you have these habits of like, putting everything together and also like trying to accomplish the work faster or like more, right? Do you see yourself any impact on yourself?
I mean, of course because when you are overworked, right? So the time that you spend for yourself is lesser, and then I mean, I don't think anyone here likes to work but we have to work because we need to survive.
Yeah.
So whenever you work, then of course there's gonna be this stress that will cause you mentally maybe a affected? Like
mentally toned down. Me myself, I got to admit that I am a person that always overwork. I know that it's like whatever that I do, whatever decision that I made is no longer just about myself. It's not only responsible towards myself, but it's also responsible towards the entire team. So sometimes I have this, I'm not too sure about you, I have this guilty as in terms of like, I always have this practice of like planning my tasks ahead for a day. So I have a checklist, I have a to-do list, what I'm gonna do for the day and so on. And sometimes when I actually achieve, which means that I complete all my to-do list earlier, right? So which means that before end of the working hours, I have this guilty, the sense of guilty as in like,
find more job.
yeah, I
Find
will
more
like
tasks to
find more
complete.
tasks to feel myself. And end up, I might even come across in terms of like, hey, I couldn't finish the task that I added to my to-do list by the day. And then I'll tend to overwork towards over hours, and sometimes like even just out of nowhere, like nighttime, I will be still working and so on.
For your situation, right? I don't think this is overwork. I think because you have this concept of overwork is because actually you already completed the task that you have planned earlier. Like let's say today you want to complete 10 tasks, and then you already completed 10 of these tasks, and then you have still extra time. That's when you try to add extra tasks come in. But this task is actually task that is meant for like let's say tomorrow. So I think you overwork is because you have this kind of concept like, oh, I have to complete every task that I
Set for today.
Yeah, actually you already completed the task. It's just that this additional task you can't complete on time, which is makes sense because this task is actually meant for tomorrow. So I don't think it's kind of like, okay, for you maybe consider as overwork. Memang it's overwork already because overtime already ma. But if you really want to like categorize it, like put it in a way like, I don't think it's actually overwork. You can choose to, stop and then continue tomorrow, but it's because of the responsibility or something like that that makes you want to complete the task.
Probably people say cari pasar sendiri. I came into a situation, right? So let's say for example, like what you mentioned today, I have 10 tasks. So happen that I complete all my 10 tasks already. And then I will have this pattern of like adding another 10 tasks to my to-do list. But at the end of the day, it's like I couldn't complete. And it will be like compounding effect, as in like you added to my next day, and then you add like for next day I couldn't complete. So it actually gave me a sense of like sometimes I have this guilty and also stress on myself, as in like why my task is actually getting longer and longer, like more and more.
But I'm kind of similar with you. Like if I complete my 10 tasks today, let's say today, and I still have extra time, I will also actually add tasks to my to-do list. But I will choose the task. Like let's say I know like I have still 2 hours left. So I will just add tasks that I know that can be complete within 2 hours. I won't add tasks that I know it takes me like 3 to 4 days. I think it's when you want to add tasks, right? You have to choose lah. You have to add the tasks that can be completed within a certain hours. That is easy and simple.
Yeah, you're right in a way. As in, I just don't really filter. I would just like, okay, from my task list, okay, so these are things I think I want to do. Like just bring over. Yeah.
And sometimes you might also add like extra 2 or 3 tasks more, just because these 2 and 3 tasks are more easier than that one task that is very heavy load.
Could be a good suggestion for myself. What caused these people overwork in Kuala Lumpur, right? Is actually the being ranked as the first one is that
auditor,
accountants,
okay,
auditors,
doctors,
and doctors.
Yeah, let me guess. What else?
Doctors,
lawyer. No.
I don't think so.
Lawyer.
Lawyer
They
is not
follow
even
the court's time.
Yeah, lawyer is not even in the list.
Production.
Creative workers.
Yeah.
So people like us, like filmmakers, photographers, and so on. Yeah, creative workers. These are the careers that has higher chances of overwork. So what are the causes all these people overwork, right? According to the study, right, some mention like those people that they actually interview and so on, right, is because of their working nature. So they already have this perception as in like, my career is always work.
True.
Especially like people that in the field of like in what do you call accountant auditors. So they have this perception in their mind, right? Their career is all about work.
The first time when they choose the course, right, maybe they already have in mind like, oh, when I graduate, when I got my first job, I can already imagine myself working overtime, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., still in the office, working.
Yeah. The first cause is perception, and the second cause is like they have this what it being called as a bad working cultures. From the study itself, when I read through, right, one of the interesting element or like the causes of overwork, right, is that all these people that in the working environment, they do not dare to leave the office before their superior or even the management left the office. So they will have this bad being classified as a bad working culture, which is basically if your superior or your management didn't left the office, didn't end their day in the office, there is no rule saying that you couldn't leave. But there is this hidden culture that you shouldn't leave before your superior left.
I think this culture is actually passed from the older generation.
Yeah.
Like my parents, they also taught me like, oh, it's better you don't leave first before your superior or your manager, because it looks bad like your manager is still working and then you just leave.
Yes.
But I think the situation now is a bit different with the current generation.
Yes.
Like they, not to say don't care lah, that maybe they are more
more self-awareness in terms of like putting the balance in work and life.
Yeah. But I think the situation is still hard to change because this culture is already been made for
it's
so
being
long.
rooted in the industry, in the field. Are you a person that is considered or classified as overworked? Since our city, Kuala Lumpur, being ranked as third most overworked in the world. So if you are one of them, do share with us in a comment, and we will actually love to hear your story and also like how you overcome or you have idea of overcome overwork. Right. Thank you for listening to the Nasi Lemak Podcast.